people? This is a movie review. If you see the title, um, tell me how you guys like this. And so I'm gonna talk about two films generally, but I'm comparing them a little bit. I don't have the best editing software, but I hope this comes out pretty cool. And I'm gonna be looking down every now and then because I'm looking at the information about these films. So let's see. If you ever seen the film well, it's a miniseries. The original was in the miniseries. It came out in uh, 1990, so just the cuff of the 80s, right? And the end towards the end of the 80s, obviously. And it was 192 minutes long. And that one was more. It says here it was described as a drama, fantasy, horror. So that one was taking place in the 60s. And the story was set. Um, Very young cast. Lots of good actors were in the original miniseries, like Tim Reeves, uh, one of the better African American actors that I've seen. I've seen him in a lot of stuff. And then the late John Ritter was in it. Also, Tim Curry, very famous actor that was in it, and some other people that are semi well known, like Seth Green also was in the original miniseries. But this is going to be a more of a take on the new one that came out, the remake. Um, I think that the old one didn't have much of a comedy. Uh, you know, not really that much. I don't remember the original being very funny, but I did enjoy the original. It's just not. And I've seen it several times, and I've um, kind of saw more flaws into it after I've seen it several times. So, but like I said, this is going to be more about the remake, the reboot, or whatever you want to call it. Because spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the film yet, there is this, since it was a miniseries, it was a lot of more of a story arc where the first half of the miniseries was taking place when they were younger, preteens. In that one, the characters and until they were adults. So if you know the original and you've seen the remake, you kind of know what I'm talking about. The remake or reboot, whatever you want to call it, is 135 minutes long. So it's not as long because it's more of a, just first half of the film. First half of the film is the first half of the miniseries, if you want to compare them. And in this one came out this year, I think early October, or maybe just before October. It's a drama horror thriller, and definitely it has some comedy elements to it too. There is definitely some comedy elements. I don't think the original had some comedy elements. Surprisingly, this one is being rated even better than the original, which is rare, and I pretty much agree. I didn't see any reviews beforehand, but it's getting quite a bit better reviews compared to the miniseries. And the cast of characters are now, I think, not preteens. They're actually teens, so they're probably in the high school, early high school, or yeah, pretty much early high school. It feels like to me compared to the original miniseries, where there was like more like late elementary or early junior high school, something like that. So the new cast has Jamie Ray Taylor. That's one of the young actors. Jaden Livenberger. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Sophie Lee Lillis or something like that. Chosen Jacob and Finn Wolfhard, which Finn Wolfhard, which plays Richie. He's the comedy relief of the group, and I believe in the original the same thing. He was more of the comedy relief. So definitely was something. It'd be interesting to see how these young actors grow up and what they become, because sometimes it's not very good, but I believe that this film is way better than the original. I think if you see the film twice, you may get more of the subtleties of the film, and there was definitely a lot of different things you want to take. Oh man, I just didn't like the shadow. Now you put it back down. You see the Shadowless, and there's definitely subtleties and definitely a lot more stuff to dig deeper into what the film means. And some people may get that at the first viewing, or you may have to see it a second time. I did get a lot of it all of the first time, but I definitely want to watch it a second time. And how did I watch this? To be honest with you, I saw it in illegal means. A cousin of mine brought it over. We watched it. He had a legal copy, and it was watchable. I think it was a Korean bootleg or something like that. It wasn't. It was definitely not American, and but it was definitely watchable. There was a little bit of a color saturation in the picture, so I'm definitely gonna rent it again and watch it again. And I think it's a film I should watch again, so I will. So I felt bad that I didn't actually go to the theaters because I wasn't sure if I would like it. I just didn't know if I wanted to waste that money to go watch it. And I've been hearing a lot of these film reviewer tubers talking about this thing called Movie Pass. I may take advantage of that, see if that's an option. I heard it's very awesome. That's from what I gather. It sounds pretty good. But there's a lot of ways to see films. You could see easily. You'll get free screens. I did it all the time, especially when I lived in LA. I used to do a lot of film screenings, and they sometimes would pay you, surprisingly, for your reviews, if you didn't know about that. So anyway, but I didn't, just because they paid me, I didn't sway the. Sometimes they didn't. I'm saying it's rare that they do pay you when you do reviews, but sometimes I did it. I'm sorry if I'm looking down, but I'm just checking. The director's name is Andy. How do you say his name? Machowski? I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but he directed Mama, the original, which is I believe it's a Spanish version, or yeah, I think it's Spanish, and he also did the remake, the American version of it. I think there was two versions. I think there's two versions. I think he was part of both. I think he's also very cool with Guillermo del Toro. If you know who that is, that's one of my favorite Spanish film directors, and he's great in horror. Like that's his genre. It's definitely his genre. And Andy Machiste seems like he knows what he's doing. He has directed his first feature film late in the game. He's 39, I think. The first, which was the original Mama. That was probably his. I think that's his first film. So I enjoyed the remake because I've seen the remake and I've seen it obviously, but I have never seen the original Mama. So I might go track that down and see how that is. But I'm really interested in what else he does, in his future work. So I'm definitely gonna keep my eye out for him. Definitely a film that I enjoyed way better than the original first half, because like I keep saying in this review, the first film was a miniseries. I never read the book because the film is an adaptation to Stephen King's book novel. And this is weird. This is my second film review in a long time and it's two Stephen King films. I'm always attracted to Stephen King, and he's one weird thing. Why I like him even more now is because I know he's a huge baseball fan, especially when it comes to Boston Red Sox. Unfortunately, but still, it doesn't make him a bad guy. He's one of those weird director, writers. Well, I don't think he's the director of many of his things. I think he's mainly just produced and written, or helped written the or the source material was from him, obviously. So I'm gonna stop blabbing on. Hope you enjoy the reviews. Sorry for the glare off my glasses, but I had to have to read some information, and I'm blind. So hope you guys enjoy this review. If you do, you know what to do. If you haven't seen my channel before, please sub and click the bell. Remember to click that bell because that will you know it'll either email you or when you're on YouTube you'll get a notification for my future videos on when I'm going live. I'm thinking about going live. I don't know if I will ever do that. I don't think I have much of a following. I don't think nobody's going to really watch me if I go live, but I am planning for bigger things in this channel. Maybe even do several, change it up. Maybe actually do have several channels. Also, I am going to be doing a lot more movie reviews coming this Christmas season because I'm gonna watch a lot of Christmas movies, and I'm just gonna kind of just give my take on those things. So I hope you enjoy what I'm talking about right now. If you do, just please leave me some feedback, and I'll see you guys later.